Hail, fellow Tenno. Today the developers released a livestream video. Devstream 193 is now released, and it showcased quite a bit of stuff. Our primary subject is the new Warframe, Follie, a inky horror born straight out of a painting. Follie uses ink to slow enemies and bring forth chaos. There's a lot to talk about with the Shadowgrapher, so let's get into it. First, her passive. Using her abilities covers enemies in ink, slowing them down. From what I understand, killing inked enemies can drop health and energy orb, so using her abilities will be rather beneficial to sustaining herself. Her first ability, called Forced Perspective, is some kind of short-range teleport ability that grants Follie damage immunity for the animation. This also damages enemies caught within the radius and inks them, allowing the passive to take effect. Her second ability is called Shadowgrapher, a rather fitting name given the ability's effects. This ability is very interesting with a potential for some disgusting synergy. We've got a lot to cover and it seems seriously fun, so let's go. Follie shadographs various things from painting into reality, featuring a plethora of possible creations. Explosive barrels, which detonate upon being shot and deal heavy gas damage to all enemies caught in the blast radius. An arc trap, which automatically discharges the electricity to nearby enemies. A Thermion RPG from Vienna. This is a rocket launcher that one-shots pretty much anything you fire it at. A small pack of amphors, taken from alchemy missions. You can throw these to damage enemies, and chances are you can also use these to charge up alchemy crucibles as well. An Workin death orb, which spins around and deals heavy radiation damage. A Coralizer armament from the Void Armageddon game mode. This deals damage to enemies and slows them down. A Lock Surge, which gives you a powerful but temporary buff. This can synergize with the Thermion RPG to bring forth complete wanton destruction. A Universal Ammo Pack to refuel your ammunition. A launch pad to lift you upward. Welcome back, Bob and Bounce Pad. A Zariman Lost Spirit that leads you to nearby treasure. A life support capsule so that you can stay alive within a survival mission. A power cell for use in an excavation mission. A defense capsule ripped from a defense mission to take aggro for you. And finally, a conduit key, used for conduits in a disruption mission. Furthermore, the Shadowgraph is customizable, and you can apparently draw your own paintings for the Shadowgraph to use. I think this is a great way to further personalize your experience with Follie, and I'll be playing around with this when Follie is released. Naturally, this also came with Steve providing us some peak content. Follie's third ability is Self-Portrait. She spawns forth the Shadow Clone, giving herself damage reduction. As you kill enemies around the Self-Portrait, the clone grows in size, increasing the duration of the ability and the damage reduction that you gain. Additionally, you can recast the portrait to move you around, keeping all of the effects of the ability. And finally, Follie's ultimate ability, I'm going to call it Plain Air. Enemies are helplessly lifted into the air by ink balloons, also being stripped of their defenses. Shooting these balloons will cause enemies to fall and suffer some damage. That's about it for Follie. She's also coming with a new game mode called Follie's Hunt. Importantly, Follie's Hunt is being unlocked after the Chains of Harrow quest, meaning it's relatively accessible to newbies. In this game mode, you return to the Shattered Vesper Relay orbiting Venus to come face to face with a mysterious painting. You can enter the painting, being brought into the relay proper. but it's not quite what we remember. Everything within the relay has been covered with some kind of shadowy ink, and a creepy voice is talking to you as you travel. And things are a bit too calm. You are tasked with hunting down blotches of paint, which you have to find in the Shadowgraphs. And then, chaos breaks loose. Enemies attack you, but not quite the same. These are inky miscreations that pursue you as you go. You can kill them to earn some paint to complete the Shadowgraphs. But furthermore, as you venture throughout the relay, Follie herself is alerted to your presence. She will hunt you down. She will appear periodically, but you're in her domain. She's immune to damage, and you'd better stay away from her. Because if you're near her for too long, it will prove to be pretty lethal. There are a lot of other changes with the update, but I won't be covering those in this video. This video is explicitly around Follie. Now, what do I think of all this? Let's start with Follie. I'm not sure I need to say anything. There is an absurd amount of potential with Follie, and it seems like the shadowgraphing can synergize with itself. She is automatically a high value choice for a slew of things due to the shadowgraph ability, but for your general gameplay I think she'll handle just fine. As for the hunt game mode, well, first off, I greatly dislike horror as a genre. I just have a really hard time dealing with the suspense and fear aspects of it. I remember back when I first played through Chains of Harrow, this was like, I don't even know, 2017, 2018? Whenever the quest first released, chances are I was playing it. But I was pretty rattled by the time I was done, and Follie's hunt kind of rings a similar bell for me. Despite that, I think this is well done. There aren't any visible jump scares, thank goodness, and the horror aspect leans more towards being highly unnerving rather than the whole boom, gotcha moment that a jump scare executes. And frankly speaking, I think jump scares execute that very poorly. More on that in a future video. Regardless, I think the whole this is rather weird, abstract, and pretty unnerving vibe works a lot better for a game like Warframe, where there's really not much that can actually pose a threat to a well-equipped Tenno. Unless we want to talk about an existential entity of incomprehensible capability like the Man in the Wall. All in all, between the chaos of Follie and the dark atmosphere of Follie's hunt, I'm looking forward to this update. We'll have to see how it is in game eventually. If you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to the channel? It's free and it'll let you know when I next post a video like this. Until next time, Tenno.